Hey everyone! In this video we're going to talk about the different forms of compensation. So recall, compensation refers to all forms of financial and non-financial returns an employee receives as part of their employment relationship. So compensation is way more than just physical money. Many organizations use the term total rewards to describe their compensation plan. Total rewards are the monetary and non-monetary returns provided to employees in exchange for their time, talent, efforts, and results. It refers to the combination of all critical factors that translates into programs and practices that help attracting, motivating, and retaining talent. A total rewards program is a system implemented by a business that provides monetary, beneficial, and developmental rewards to employees to achieve specific business goals. The strategy combines compensation and benefits with personal growth opportunities inside a motivated work environment. This emphasizes that employees expect way more from their employers now than just a paycheck. This is also why we say that people receive a variety of returns from work. They are categorized into two types: total compensation and relational returns. Total compensation refers to the returns that are transactional in nature. These include pay received directly as cash, such as your base pay, and indirectly as benefits. Relational returns, on the other hand, refer to non-financial returns. These are more psychological in nature. These forms can include recognition for doing well on a task, having high status within the organization, knowing that you'll wake up the next day and have a job to go to, being provided work that challenges you and helps you grow, as well as opportunities for learning and development. Both types of returns are important, and a well-designed compensation system provides both, as we will discuss throughout this semester. But since this is a class on compensation and benefits, we're going to focus a little bit more on those financial returns from work. So let's dive a little deeper into these different terms for total compensation. Okay, so there are two categories for total compensation: cash compensation and benefits. So at the heart of cash compensation is base pay. So this is the money that you receive for performing your job. So base pay is recurring. You're going to get your base for as long as you work for your employer. And there are two forms of base pay. So you can be an hourly employee or a salaried employee. So in the US, salary refers to pay given to employees who are exempt from certain regulations according to the Fair Labor Standards Act and are exempt from overtime pay. Salary is calculated at an annual or monthly rate. Non-exempts have their pay calculated on an hourly wage. Employers set the amount of base pay for jobs based on what we call compensable factors. So compensable factors refer to the level of skill, effort, and responsibility required to perform the job, as well as the severity of the working conditions. Generally, jobs with higher compensable factors have a higher base pay than jobs with lower compensable factors. There are a few ways that you can change your base pay over time. One way is through cost of living adjustments. So these are periodic base pay increases to enable workers to maintain a standard of living by adjusting for pay due to inflation. Changes are founded on changes in prices according to the Consumer Price Index. These types of increases are common in jobs that have unions. Another way is through merit or seniority pay increases. Seniority pay increases reward employees with periodic increases to base pay based on how long they've been working for the company. Merit pay increases are permanent increases to one's base pay and are based on one's performance. Merit increases are based on an employee's annual performance review by one's manager or supervisor. The typical increase is usually around 3%. Generally, increases to base pay are becoming less and less common in the US. In fact, wage growth in the US has stagnated for the last several decades and is barely keeping up with inflation. So a recent study found that after taking into account of inflation, today's average hourly wage has just about the same purchasing power as it did in 1978. So although Americans have larger paychecks than they did 40 years ago or so, our purchasing power has seriously declined. For example, $232 in 1979 had the same purchasing power as $840 in today's dollars. So one reason for slow wage growth is because fewer and fewer companies are doing cost of living adjustments or offering very small merit increases and not that frequently. And employers are more likely to expand benefits and other variable forms of pay than to increase base compensation in order to keep their labor costs lower. So an increasingly popular form of compensation is variable pay or incentive pay. Incentives reward employees for either partially or completely attaining some predetermined performance standard. In other words, it varies based on the level of performance. The performance standard can be individual performance, team performance, organizational performance, or even some combination of those three. Incentives can be tied to short-term objectives, so usually within the period of 1 year, or to attaining multi-year objectives. The other component of total compensation is benefits. Benefits include returns such as income protection, healthcare, programs that facilitate work and life responsibilities, and allowances. Some income protection programs are legally required in the United States. For example, employers must pay into a fund that provides income replacement for workers who become disabled or unemployed. These types of benefits help protect employees from financial risks inherent in daily life. With major demographic changes to the workforce in recent years, more and more employers are recognizing the need to provide benefits that support work-life balance. This includes time away from work, such as for vacations or jury duty, access to services that meet specific needs, such as drug counseling, financial planning, and flexible work arrangements, such as telecommuting, non-traditional schedules, non-paid time off. For example, a lot of companies, like Subaru, are offering paid time off for employees to spend a percentage of their time volunteering. Companies may also offer allowances to cover the cost of travel, housing, moving and relocation expenses, transportation, etc. They may also offer headhunting services for partners and spouses if relocating to a new area. So, after watching this video, hopefully you can see that compensation actually refers to a wide variety of both financial and non-financial rewards. As we'll discuss throughout the semester, both types of rewards play a critical component in a company's HR strategy. So any good compensation system needs to be built around a total rewards mindset. All right, thanks for listening. See you next time.